Hello, welcome to another episode of Play Cool Songs. Today we're going to check out a Bill Withers tune that I'm sure you are familiar with, Ain't No Sunshine. But I just want to talk through some concepts around harmony and just share a couple of interesting ideas that you might want to try in your own practice or your own version of this song. So let's just jump into the chord progression. We're in the key of A minor. I'm going to be hitting A minor 7, and then really we're just cycling through 3 chords as our vamp, which is A minor, E minor, and G. B section goes to a D minor or a D minor 7, and then you might descend through these 3 chords, the F major 7, E minor 7, and D minor 7, back to the vamp. Now I tend to throw on sort of that Hendrix chord or an E7 or E7 altered kind of thing, just to punctuate the form, which I find is quite helpful when you're kind of repeating that chord progression again and again in a solo section, for example, or just to kind of highlight, the overall structure for the listener and the band. And that just kind of opens up some interesting things for the soloist as well, potentially. So a couple of ideas around this song. Firstly, I really think of this song as the Dorian blues. And so for me, the A minor pentatonic is really the starting point for that. And then I'm introducing the B natural and the F sharp. So all of these notes, really I'm, playing a G major scale over A minor. That's how you might think of it. And I'm taking A minor pentatonic with its bluesy flat 5, and then superimposing, the B natural and the F sharp over that as well. And that's kind of working nicely as a tonality over this chord progression. Right, when I get to the D minor, however, in the B section, I have a F natural in the chord, so that F sharp needs to change, otherwise it's going to get very crunchy and dissonant, and perhaps not in a good way if you're not navigating it tastefully. So to sound sophisticated and sound like you're playing within the harmony, I'd be aware of that note and making sure that I'm hitting the F natural instead of the F sharp. And that's essentially taking me into D minor Dorian. And then back to A minor and all the Dorian opportunities that you might have in A minor. So for me, that's kind of where I go with it. Another thing which I picked up off a live version by Sting and his band was introducing some of these James Bond style chords to the A minor as well. And it's just a nice kind of element of surprise, which I think Sting mentioned on his interview with Rick Beato. Where you're kind of catching the listener unaware and bringing in some musical devices which are unexpected. So I think it was this voicing here where I've got, essentially I'm barring the bottom part of the, bottom 4 strings of the 7th fret, and then introducing, on the G and B strings, the 9th fret. So that's giving me really my G sharp over A, which is sort of the major minor 7 sound, and then I've got that B natural there as well. So this idea, you find it in Joe Pass and the Barry Galbraith book, and the Mickey Baker jazz book stuff, where we're using different voicings of A minor to kind of create movement and interest as we travel through that chord. And so I really like that as a concept. So I might use different versions of the A minor. So a way for me to think about this in real time is I'm kind of using the horizontal version of A minor pentatonic, excuse me, where these notes here of the A minor pentatonic are all where I would build my A minor chords from, really, or take my cue for the positioning on the fretboard. So that as an idea is quite potent. Yeah, and moving around, grabbing notes out of the A minor Dorian, or A minor 7 is pretty cool in what you can find for yourself there. Yeah, a bit of a Guthrie trap idea as well, where he's pedaling notes and kind of cycling through the scale within the chord. So that stuff for me, it just creates interest and movement within the harmony, and I quite like playing around with that as a concept. Really, I'm taking all of my notes out of essentially the G major scale, with A minor Dorian being the second mode of that. However you want to kind of conceptualize modes for yourself, or these kind of scale personalities, is quite personal. So for me, I kind of think of the fretboard in Dorian strangely, so I'm always sort of looking for the minor pentatonic cage system, and then adding the Dorian notes to that, and then kind of using it as required, depending on what the chords are doing. And so for me, I kind of think of the whole fretboard in terms of the major scale / Dorian scale. And that was like a Jimmy Bruno thing, where I found his 5 shapes system, which all kind of came out of the cage system, was really worthwhile, and I'd recommend checking that out as well. He's got a great YouTube channel. He's a real dude, and I found just kind of drilling down into the Jimmy Bruno 5 shape system was particularly useful for my soloing, my fretboard navigation, and also building these chords that I'm talking about. So check that out, friends. It's a cool little concept, just moving these chord shapes around, and also thinking about what the chord is telling you to do. And this is a good song to sort of practice that mindfulness, where I need to play the F sharp over A minor and then play the F natural over the D minor. So worth putting in your looper, and really digging into some of these concepts. Maybe just to bring some more jazzier elements to your blues playing. I know a lot of my favorite players use these ideas, and I've found them really valuable in my own playing as well. So enjoy that. If you have any questions, please comment away. I enjoy the conversations, and I'll catch you for the next one. Okay, see ya.